Let's do this. Arthur Aidala, terrific. This guy did such a terrific job. He came friendly with him a couple of months ago during the Tom Sullivan run for Senate in Queens. He's been a very successful Queens politician, as a councilman for many, many years. Ran for public advocate, a good friend of the Bernie and Sid show. Did not win. Jumaane Williams won. But you know how well Eric Ulrich did? If you actually add up the votes for Melissa Mark Viverito, who many people thought would win, and Michael Blake, who's got a national political history, if you add up their votes, they still fall short of what Eric Ulrich accomplished on Tuesday. And by the way,
amazing.
Won Queens, which in the past, of course, has been a D haven. So even in loss, Eric Ulrich kicked major ass on Tuesday.
He was like a Jewish guy running for office in Tehran.
Yes.
And he came in an extremely respectable second place.
Did a great job. And I was happy to hear when he called me yesterday that even in loss, Eric Ulrich is actually pumped up, enthused, and ready to do more. So here he is, Eric Ulrich.
I'm not dead yet. That's the good news.
Hell no. And you're still city councilman, right?
Yes,
so
I am. I didn't have to give up my seat.
No.
So I still have a day job.
Excellent. So, yeah, we congratulate you on that. But the question, of course, Jumaane Williams won, and all props to him. They had a great organization.
Very impressive victory, by the way.
Yes, and he had the New York Times, for some reason, the lunatics that they are, they endorsed him, so that really helped him as well. But you, Eric Ulrich, now what happens to Eric Ulrich? You're a rising star. There's no doubt about it. But how do you make that? How do you make hay out of that here in this the Commonwealth, the actually whatever you call this New York City mess?
I think that we live to fight another day. We had such a great showing on Election Day. I think when all the paper ballots are counted, we will receive over 80,000 votes. And I think there's a lot to be said that there's a mainstream, moderate, out-of-borough voter and taxpayer in the city who's fed up and who will show up at the polls when there is a candidate worth voting for.
I think that's right. It's really as simple as that. Now, look, you were the only guy, the only person, I should say, who was going to hold the mayor accountable. Jumaane's not going to do that. You were.
Well, I hope he does. I really want him to.
Well, maybe you'll help him do that. The point is, you're going to hold the mayor accountable because there's a lot of stuff he's not real good at. And de Blasio can't run again. So the question becomes...
Thank God for that.
Right. So the question becomes, being that you are the guy to point out all of his deficiencies, we don't want somebody like him winning again. It's a very simple question, Eric Ulrich. Will you run for mayor?
I won't rule it out. I think it's definitely something that we're going to consider, especially when you look at the numbers and how well we did in traditionally Democratic neighborhoods and parts of the city. We really ran up the numbers in Staten Island. I am so grateful to my colleagues in government, my friends, Joe Borelli, Steve Matteo, Jimmy Otto, Andy Lanza, and Mike Riley, who really stepped up to the plate and backed me and vouched for me on the South Shore, Mid-Island. But we also won the North Shore of Staten Island, which is a traditionally very Democratic part of the city. And we won Southern Brooklyn. We had tremendous support in the Orthodox community, but also in Bay Ridge and Coney Island, Dyker Heights, Sheepshead Bay. And then Queens, we won Queens. The last Republican to win Queens was Bloomberg.
Outright won Queens. That's amazing.
I think I got like 29,000 votes in Queens, and Jumaane got 22,000. So it wasn't even close.
Wow. So based upon all that, and what Bernie said, which is right, what New York has become.
The phrase I was looking for is the People's Republic of New York City.
Right.
Or whatever that means.
But based upon your numbers, then, it is feasible, as crazy as it sounds based on Bernie's remark, and Bernie's right, it is feasible that a Republican can win mayor.
Well, I think that a Republican with common sense can absolutely win. And I think that if things continue to go in the direction that they're headed in under this mayor, failing schools, rising crime, homelessness epidemic just skyrocketing, absenteeism on the part of the mayor when he's just spending more and more time in Iowa and New Hampshire and less time in New York City.
And at the gym.
Jobs fleeing the state of New York, tax revenue fleeing the city of New York, NYCHA's crumbling, public transportation in the sewer right now, and their plan is to just put a commuter tax on the outer boroughs. Now the mayor and the governor are on the same page with respect to congestion pricing. I think it's going to be bad for the outer boroughs, but they're hungry, they're starving for money. My point is that if things keep going in the direction that they're headed in, eventually this liberal city that we all love is just going to get to the point where people say enough is enough. And we need somebody with common sense to lead us out of this nonsense.
And I'll tell you how great a candidate you were and your message was, is that not only did the New York Post endorse Eric Ulrich, but the New York Daily News actually endorsed Eric Ulrich.
We're very proud of that, by the way.
And you should be. That's why I'm high on the new year, because look, that's for them. That shows a modicum of integrity, because they could have endorsed any one of these lunatics from the left, and they didn't. They went with you because they know that you're the future. You should be the future. I mean, look, Mayor de Blasio and his wife. You mentioned a litany of transgressions, the shortcomings they had. This story about them wasting $1.6 billion between the two of them on the Renewal Schools program and on that mental health initiative that she had. I mean, that is outrageous. I mean, the kids that suffered as a result of it, and the money that was squandered, and the mental health people, the mentally ill people that did not get treated. I mean, they wanted yoga classes, and line dancing was part of some of the therapy for them. I mean, it's ridiculous.
No, it's crazy. We've been saying this for years, that the renewal program was a big waste of money. It actually wasn't turning around failing schools, and the steps that needed to be taken, that were taken in the previous administration under Mayor Bloomberg, Mayor de Blasio refused to continue. He refused to enact. He didn't want to phase out failing schools because he was afraid of the teachers' union.
Right.
I mean, truth be told.
Right.
And
as he should be. That's a very powerful union.
It's a very powerful union. And by the way, they've endorsed me in the past. I'm not bashing the teachers' union. I'm just saying that the mayor is not focused on the people's interests. He caters to the special interests, and that's part of the problem.
And he caves in. Look, he was a guy that was for the Amazon deal like you were. As soon as it went south, he starts blaming Amazon. Now, look, I got to give Cuomo some credit. Don't like him. To me, he's, de Blasio squared.
Well, at least he's trying to do something to bring them back. Right. You got to give the guy credit for trying. I'm not his biggest fan either.
Right.
But at least he's saying, wait a minute, we lost 25,000 jobs. How do we get these guys back to the table?
Yeah.
De Blasio is popping champagne bottles with Ocasio-Cortez and the rest of these nut jobs. I mean, the point is that we lost all of these jobs. Okay, and the only one at this point who seems to be trying to do anything to bring them back is Cuomo. So if Cuomo is going to do that, I'm going to support him to say, Governor, I want those jobs in Queens. I want them for the city of New York.
You said the crazy Ocasio-Cortez, and we spent a lot of time talking about her on this show. They do in California, as Ben Shapiro told us. You're a Queens guy. On a serious note, because Bill O'Reilly kind of laughed it off yesterday with us, how dangerous is Cortez for future politics?
I think she's dangerous because she is going to destroy the two-party system in our state and in our city. We need, for the sake of our democracy, a strong and viable Democratic Party and a Republican Party to keep each other honest. It's checks and balances. It's as simple as that. Ocasio-Cortez is leading the Democratic Party so far to the left. She's not a Democrat. She's a socialist, or she's a socialist Democrat.
Bust out.
A lot of my friends, by the way, on Tuesday, I got tens of thousands of Democratic votes. There aren't all the 80,000 votes that I got were not Republicans. I would venture to say maybe half of them, probably less, are registered Republicans, and that's assuming that all of them voted for me, which we know they didn't. Right. The point is that I have friends that are and supporters that are Democrats in the city, and we don't agree on every issue, but they care about things that we care about. Ocasio-Cortez, I think, represents the radical left that is anti-Semitic. Okay, anti-business, anti-jobs, anti-common sense, and I don't think that her values
anti-Israel too.
That's exactly. I don't think that if you're against Israel, that is anti-Semitic as far as I'm concerned. So my point is that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is doing a disservice to the Democratic Party, and more importantly, to the people of the city of New York.
Yes, indeed, and she is fracturing the party, which you say we need a too strong two-party system. But the fact that she's fracturing them and hurting them may be a good thing, a silver lining, because these loonies, I mean, if you have people like Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and Governor Cuomo, quote-unquote moderates, pandering to them, I mean, they're going to follow some of their policies. It's going to be detrimental. So if the opposition party can, prevail over them, that's not a bad thing.
She has taken over the discussion. Okay, and she's doing a disservice to her constituents. By the way, she doesn't even have an office open.
No,
right?
Not yet.
If I imagine being in public office, you get elected to something, and you don't even open a district office.
I know.
Where the hell do your constituents go when they want when they have complaints?
But you got yourself a nice new apartment. Gotta like that. Right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the other apartment, the lady down the hall said she never seen her once.
Never saw her. Now she says I live with my boyfriend. I mean, there's something shady going on. But look, we're out of time, Eric Ulrich.
But we are very proud of you. We're happy for your great job on Tuesday. And we say this all the time, Bernie and I. We really believe that the future is so bright for you. It may be mayor, it may be something bigger, we don't know. But I'm willing to bet that Eric Ulrich one day soon will be a huge player, thank God, in politics, if not in this city, in this country. We mean that.
Thank you, guys.
So congratulations and Godspeed, my friend.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you very much. We'll talk to you again on the Bernie and Sid Show. We're coming right back.
Bernie and Sid in the morning.